1968, a year that cracked the world open. Assassinations, protests, moonshots, and right in the middle of all that fire and grief, some of the most deeply felt soul music ever recorded. This is Demo, and today we're counting down 10 soul songs from 1968 that still stop you cold the moment that needle drops.
Everybody tighten it up now. Oh, come on now. Now let that guitar fall in.
Stick around for number 1, because that track didn't just chart, it rewrote what soul music was allowed to say. Let's go. 10, You're All I Need to Get By, Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell.
You'll be there to push me up the hill. There's no looking back.
A love song so pure it almost doesn't feel real. By 1968, the Gaye-Terrell duets had become something Motown didn't plan for. Genuine emotional lightning. This wasn't two singers performing togetherness. It sounded like two people who actually needed each other.
Stand by it like a tree, and everybody to try and move me.
Written by the legendary team of Nicholas Ashford and Valerie Simpson, the song found that rare intersection between gospel warmth and pop accessibility. Marvin's velvet tenor rapping around Tammy's bright, earnest delivery created something listeners felt physically. What made it devastating in hindsight was what was already unfolding behind the scenes. Tammy Terrell had begun experiencing the early signs of the illness that would claim her life just 2 years later. Knowing that now, the song takes on a whole different weight. On porches and in kitchens across America, couples claimed this one as theirs. And it still holds up as one of the most tender recordings either artist ever made. 9, Tighten Up, Archie Bell and the Drells
Come on. Oh yeah. Tighten it up now. Oh yeah.
Houston's gift to every dance floor on the planet. Before heading off to serve in the military, Archie Bell cut a track with a simple, almost reckless mission. Make everybody move. No overthinking it. No grand concept. Just rhythm, horns, and an irresistible groove.
That should be outside. Come on now. What's up?
That spoken intro, casual, confident, almost like Archie was leaning against the wall at your party, pulled people in before the beat even settled. And then that bass line hit, school gyms, block parties, summer cookouts with the speakers pointed out the window.
Oh yeah.
Tighten Up was the instruction and the answer all at once. When Archie came home from service, a number 1 hit was waiting for him. One of the most joyful surprises in soul history. 8, The Horse, Cliff Nobles and Company. No words, no hook, just pure, undeniable groove. Here's the thing about The Horse. It was never supposed to matter. It was a B-side, a throwaway. The studio band recorded it almost as an afterthought. And then somehow, someway, it became the record everyone had to have. Not a single lyric, not one sung word, just that rolling horn riff and a rhythm section that simply refused to let go of you. Parades played it, pep rallies blasted it. High school kids invented their own steps to it in gymnasium corners. And the crowning irony, Cliff Nobles himself isn't even on the recording. The Horse is proof that sometimes the music knows better than the people making it. 7, Lala Means I Love You, the Delphonics.
Then why don't you let me try?
The moment Philadelphia started whispering something the world would eventually have to hear. This song is delicate in the best possible way. William Hart's falsetto floats above Tom Bell's lush orchestration like it has no interest in touching the ground. And And that was the point. It was music designed to make ordinary moments feel weightless. First dates, slow dances in dimly lit school cafeterias, open windows in spring. The Delphonics made that feeling portable and put it on a 45. What most people don't realize is how far forward this record reached. The orchestral soul language pioneered here laid the foundation for an entire decade of Philadelphia sound that would reshape popular music in the 70s. It didn't just capture a moment, it built a road. 6. Who's Making Love? Johnny Taylor. A cautionary tale disguised as a dance floor invitation. Recorded at the legendary Stax studios in Memphis, this track started as a backstage joke among musicians. But when Johnny Taylor stepped in front of that microphone, something shifted. What came out was a fully realized warning, smooth, funky, and just a little bit menacing. The message was simple. While you're out running around, who's back home filling your spot? Jukeboxes across the South lit up. Lounges and bars made it a staple. People danced and then thought about it a little too hard on the drive home. This was the record that broke Johnny Taylor wide open. The one that made people stop and ask, who is this man and how has he not been in our lives this whole time? 5. I Got the Feeling, James Brown.
Up there, I got the feeling. You got the feeling up there.
The Godfather in complete, terrifying command. There is a version of 1968 that exists without James Brown. It is a smaller, less electrified year. Because in '68, Brown wasn't just making music. He was conducting a masterclass in what rhythm could do to a human body.
Yeah, if you got the feeling. Yeah, I'm here.
I Got the Feeling is a horn section sharpened to a point, a rhythm section that breathes together like one organism, and James Brown at the absolute center of it, shouting, shuffling, dropping to one knee, leaping back up. His Ed Sullivan performance of this track stopped living rooms cold. Children stood up from the carpet. Parents leaned forward. Nobody had seen movement and music merge quite like that. Producers and musicians still study this record today, not to imitate it, just to understand how it's even possible. 4. Chain of Fools, Aretha Franklin.
You treated me mean. Oh, you treated me.
The Queen arriving, and arriving loudly. Originally written with another artist in mind, Chain of Fools found its true home the moment Aretha Franklin opened her mouth. She didn't just sing it, she inhabited it, transformed it, claimed it so completely that imagining anyone else recording it now feels almost absurd.
That isn't much too strong. I'm headed to you. Change.
That guitar riff, that call and response, the barely contained fury running underneath every note. This was a woman serving notice. Hair salons, barbershops, corner stores, every place where people gathered and told each other the truth about their lives, this song played.
Change.
And every time the chorus hit, somebody recognized something. It earned her a Grammy and cemented a title she hadn't even asked for, but wore perfectly. The undisputed Queen of Soul. 3. I heard it through the grapevine, Marvin Gaye.
You knew before, between the two of us, guys, you know I love you more.
Nearly shelved, nearly lost, nearly never heard. That is the terrifying almost story of one of the greatest soul recordings ever made. Motown sat on Marvin Gaye's version of this song for over a year, unsure it was the right move. Too dark, they thought. Too slow. Too brooding.
Heard it through the grapevine. Oh, I'm just about to lose.
They were wrong in the most spectacular fashion imaginable. When it finally dropped, listeners didn't just like it, they were undone by it. Marvin's delivery was restrained and devastated at the same time, like a man who already knows the answer but keeps asking the question anyway.
That you let me go.
It didn't sound like a pop record, it sounded like evidence. It became the best-selling Motown single to that point, which means somewhere, someone was almost responsible for keeping it from us. 2. Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. Otis Redding.
Watching the tide roll away.
A farewell that no one knew was a farewell. 3 days after Otis Redding finished recording this song, his plane went down over a frozen lake in Wisconsin. He was 26 years old. Dock of the Bay arrived in early 1968 like a transmission from somewhere just out of reach. It didn't sound like the Otis people knew, the raw, explosive Otis of the Stax catalog.
Oh, baby, wasting time.
This was quieter, more reflective. A man gazing at the horizon and wondering what comes next. That whistled outro, the one everybody knows, was never meant to be permanent. It was a placeholder for lyrics he hadn't written yet.
Ooh, I'm sitting on a dock of a bay.
He never got the chance to write them, and that whistle became one of the most emotionally loaded moments in the history of recorded music. The first posthumous #1 on both the R&B and pop charts. A masterpiece that arrived as both a beginning and an ending.
If this song just hit you in that quiet place, don't let this moment be a one-time thing. Subscribe to Demo. We're building a home for real R&B and soul. The kind that heals, the kind that tells the truth. Hit subscribe and come back whenever you need a song that understands you.
1. Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. James Brown. There was only one place this list could end. August 1968. The country was raw. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. had been gone for 4 months. Cities were still processing grief and rage, and a question that hung in the air unanswered. What now? Into that silence, James Brown detonated a record. Say It Loud wasn't subtle.
Say it louder. Some says
It wasn't trying to be. It was a declaration shouted through a megaphone, defiant, joyful, and completely unafraid. The children's chorus chanting the title gave it something that political anthems rarely have. Hope that stretches forward into the next generation.
say it louder.
Barbershops played it on repeat. Marchers chanted it in the streets. Kids shouted it in schoolyards, not entirely sure why, but understanding instinctively that something important was being said.
Say it louder.
This wasn't a song that became a movement. The movement was already there. James Brown just gave it a voice loud enough to echo across decades. More than 50 years later, those words haven't lost a single pound of their weight.